Well, welcome everybody. Very excited today to formally introduce the 15th baseball coach at Washington State University. I did want to say this, that I got my guy. I think the perfect fit for Washington State baseball. Not only is he a proven champion at two different schools, he's a native of the Northwest. I always kind of like the small town people. That's my roots too, and Marty has that. Wonderful, wonderful family man. Love his in-laws. I've known them for 20 years, and they surprised him today coming up and are in the room as well. And at the end of the day, what we have here is, again, a head coach that sees Washington State as a destination, wants to raise his family here, and wants to win championships just like we all do. So it's my pleasure at this time to introduce to you Marty Lees, new Cougar head baseball coach. This is for you. And notice I talked about
yes,
the fonts.
we talked about
that.
Yes. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, I tell you, Bill said some nice, kind words. I hope he's that nice and kind when I'm over budget by about $20,000. So, thank you, Bill, for the introduction. It's been a long, kind of roller coaster week for the Lees family. We lost out in regional on Sunday, and you visit with kids that are very, very special. You put time into two kids a whole year, and you end it the way we did. It was unfortunate, but already started planning for the next year and things, and was fortunate enough to get a phone call from Bill, and we met. And I tell you what, when I listened to him and his vision of what athletics should be here at Washington State, it's very, very impressive. I've had the opportunity to watch Bill for the last basically 25 years, growing up around the Northwest. I was a coach in Oak Ridge, Oregon, then moved in Eugene, coached Eugene Challengers, and then we moved out to Harrisburg, and my family members being all, as Duck fans as you can get, we went to and did a lot of things. And so watching Bill build places for coaches, for universities, it's very impressive. And, as he talks about that was one of the things that is very important to me. We grew up in a small town, and I want to be raising my kids in a place that is fun, a place that they can, learn the same things that we did when we were growing up, values, hard work, and things like that. And the second thing was, a place we can win championships. And we can win a championship here. And there's no question the history at Washington State is very big. You look at Buck Bailey and, of course, Bobo Brayton, and I had a chance to play against that team right at the end, and I didn't do so good. And when we played over in Lewiston, but to see that I'm coming in an area where people like that have coached, it's very, very humbling, and to take over coaches like that, I'm forever grateful and honored to be able to do that. So, as we move on, people I want to introduce. Met this young lady about 17 years ago, and good things have happened. Ran into a great family, and she's better than just a good mom and a good wife. She's why I'm here, and it's been long, huh, hon? Yeah. So thank her for being my rock and getting us where we wanted to be. This is a dream come true. I feel like my whole life I've been born to coach, and I'm ready to lead. Her parents, Dave and Evelyn, when we got married, we didn't have much, and when I wanted to, jump into college baseball, it was tough. We had a newborn, and we were teaching, and teaching salaries at that time were we're tough, and they helped us out a lot. Everywhere we've been, they've been the rock for us. And so, thank you to you guys for everything you've done for us. The coaches and the people that I've been around in the last 14 years, Bob DeCarlos and Pat Casey gave me an opportunity. And if it wasn't for, I've learned so much from Coach Casey in 11 years that we were together, and I'm forever grateful to him. He helped me understand how you win a championship, and we worked hard, and it was good with him. And then I go to Oklahoma State, and I'm with Mike Holder, probably one of the finest men you'll ever meet as an athletic director, and getting a chance to hear his visions on what athletics is really about, how you treat people, how you plan for the future, how you invest in each kid to gain their trust. He's a remarkable man. And then, my best friend, Josh Holliday, who is, that one's a tough one because, we went there to build something, and that program's going to be in great shape because of what he's doing as a head coach. And, what I'm hoping to do is take the things I've learned from people throughout my life, from grade school on up, and have an idea of how to, take things I've learned, but build it. And that's the thing that really excites me here, because I know that you win a championship here. I've seen the players that come through here, Aaron Seeley, Hatterberg, Ron Say, John Olrud, and the coaches that were here prior to me, they won. And they won it with hard work. I hear the stories of Bobo out in the same place where that stadium's at with his tractors and having people in town come down and help him build it. And that's what we're about. That's what our family is about. And, and picking an institution where you want to land, there's opportunities throughout life, every year. But nothing makes sense until you feel it right here. And when I visit with Bill and then coming to town and seeing the people in this area greet us, everything in this town is crimson and gray, and you don't know where WSU ends. And it's very, very impressive. I'm really looking forward to being part of a great university. I know the community's great because that's what we do in small towns. And one thing, I know Bill told me that, weather's like this out here every day. And I know he's lying about that. And I want to tell him I'm already coming. But we're excited to get going. As far as kind of the first thing on the agenda for me, when a change happens, there's a little bit of confusion with the kids that are already here. And so my first order of business is to reach out to the kids that we already have. They chose Washington State for a reason. It's a great school. It's a great university, and it's a great baseball program. And so I'm going to reach out to them and make them feel comfort, because there's nothing that happens in success of any team without trust, development, comfort, all those things. So start by reaching out to them and moving on, and then I got to hire staff. I've got one person in mind right now, and going to be talking to a few others, but I'm confident that the staff that we bring here is going to be something very, very special. And when you hear the names and you hear some of the pedigree and you understand, I want to be around people who've won championships. And it's important that when we develop and talk to kids, and we got to talk about it on a daily basis. There's no question about it. But just know, 1976 was the last time that Washington State's been to Omaha. I think that's far too long, but you have a commitment. I was thinking last night, I went to sleep thinking about how to make this program better. I woke up this morning, how to make this program better, and I can promise you this: there's going to be nobody or no family that works any harder than me personally. I take it as an honor to be up in front of you as a baseball coach here, and I know Bill took time to make sure that he felt like he had the right man, and Bill, I assure you, you have the right man. We're gonna get good things going here, and I cannot wait to hit the road running. So.
Questions for Coach? Coach,
Yeah.
Sean Kramer from the Spokesman Review. One thing a lot of fans talk about with the baseball program is the facilities and the proposed baseball clubhouse. What role did that have in your conversations with Moose and taking this job?
Well, I tell you, we haven't really talked about it at all, just briefly. Those are kind of, there's some things I'd like to see done, but it's really secondary right now to what needs to happen. And right now, it's communicating with these kids to feel like, because they're already here. And then at some point, once we get on recruiting, hire a staff, I'm confident Bill and I will sit down and talk about the things that make sense.
Theo Lawson with the Listen Tribune. Do you feel like in this day and age that you need to have top-notch facilities, especially in the Pac-12 and in this section of the Pac-12, to compete at the highest level?
Well, I think there is something out there that kids are trending to. However, I was just at two places that were built from scratch. And so when I think about facilities, and I see the way that recruiting is going, I think about parents investing in a school. I think about them investing in a coach. And those things, to me, are the most important thing. Once you start talking about facility, everything you have that's nicer than somebody else is good. But to me, the thing that's got to be, the long, hard thing that you stand upon is what parents think of you as a person, because they want a good experience. They want a good education. Those are the things I know we're going to provide. Yeah.
Kevin Klosky, Prime TV. Just how familiar are you with the team right now, and just also what's your philosophy in recruiting? You do very well there from your previous experience.
Well, as far as the team that's here, we had a chance to play them earlier in the year, so that's kind of as much as I've had, and I've looked at rosters and things like that, but I haven't really dug into who's going to be a starting shortstop, third base, and that type of thing. I think those things will work out. Again, the first thing I need to do is they need to feel good about what's going on right now, because that's the ambiguity and the anxiety that's going on with parents and kids, and I want to make them feel comfort in that. As far as recruiting, we need to see what we have right now, and that'll be up to my staff and I to look at the kids that we have here and decide what we need to do to move forward to either get more pitching or more outfielders, more infielders, or one left-handed bat or right-handed bat. I think, and we're going to be doing a lot of work to identify those needs right now, and we'll just get on the road, start talking to coaches, and we're going to find kids that are winners, and we're going to get going where we need to go.
Dustin Brennan, Moscow Pullman Daily News. As a new head coach, you were alluding to it a little bit. How do you go about getting everybody on the same page, making the kids feel comfortable with you? What's your first step there?
Well, the first step is communication with them. I think for some of these kids, I've just been out of Northwest for 3 years, so some of them have an idea who I am, and I have an idea who they are. So that'll give some. I know that there's a lot of local, especially summer coaches that have some identity to me. So I think there's going to be a chance for those kids to visit with their coaches and know that, we're going to get this thing where we need to be. That the trust is there. Coach Lees is going to work very hard, but it's going to take some time. To call 35 players in the next half hour is not going to happen, But we're going to work to make sure that everybody's on the same page that way and move forward. We got kids coming in 2 weeks for summer school, and so I'm visiting with our weight training and academics and things like that. There's a lot of things to get set into place, but I'm trusting, and they've come to me and said, hey, we're here to help, and that's what makes it great in a place like this. Everybody is here to help make this thing great.
You've spent a lot of time working with infielders. You're going to be inheriting a pretty young group of infielders here at WSU. Is that a pretty exciting opportunity for you?
I think it's an exciting opportunity for both of us. I really do. I think that anytime you have a chance to work with, and we say this at both places that I've coached, we're baseball coaches. And anytime you can learn something from another coach, it can only help you. And I think that when, again, I'm going to work with the infielders, but learning something different and seeing what the skills they already have and building on those, that's the exciting thing about coaching.
Dallas Hammer KHQ-TV in Spokane. Has it set in for you yet that you're a head coach in a Pac-12 program now?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure that, I've heard the warning signs from Coach Casey and Coach Holliday already, but yes, we're ready to go. In visiting with a lot of people, some people said, geez, it's pretty quick, should you wait a couple days? And just like I told my wife, we've been preparing for this for 15 years. And we've always believed, that if it's right here in your heart and you believe it, it just happens. And we're very fortunate, very blessed for certain. And this is the right place for us. And I cannot wait to lead this university.
Zach Seminar, KLEW News. This program really hasn't been relevant in over 5 years, hasn't won a conference title since 1995. For the people who want to win right now, for all the fans who want to win right now, it's not going to be an overnight thing. What do you tell Cougar Nation, so to speak, of what kind of process it's going to be?
Well, the first thing is, and you're right, it's not won overnight. So we're going to use a model to basically win the day. We've got to get better every day. If we start thinking about the things that are at the end of the year, you're not going to be very good, because when we start, fall workouts in August, and we're trying to figure out, May and June, then there is no development. And so we're going to work hard at just winning the day, getting the kids bought into what we feel is a championship atmosphere, and then we'll plug them in and keep working, and then leave campus and get more kids that believe in the same thing.
Any other questions for Coach or Phil Moose?
I have a question for Moose. I know with the football and the basketball hire, a lot of fans were excited because there were names that they knew. With Marty, do you feel like you got a name that a lot of people in the baseball community really knew about?
Absolutely. Baseball's a little bit different deal. It's a world of its own, especially college baseball. And when I started to look at who I wanted and I thought would be a good fit, I went to the right people to ask. And Marty's reputation is fabulous. And you talk to the baseball experts across the country and media and all these things, his name is at the top of a lot of lists, including one of the top 10 assistant coaches in the country. And I like to hire coaches that have paid their dues, who've had to work their way up. Marty has done that. And think about this too, because I'm sure I did. I can assure you, you can win a Pac-12 championship and a national championship in the Pacific Northwest in baseball. And he's been a part of a group that proved that. What has not been said here is that when Marty and that staff was put together at Oklahoma State, that program was in disarray. There were all kinds of problems. And they went in, and then this is hope for the Cougars. If it is, that's great, but it resonated with me. Their first year, getting that program back together and getting that culture changed, they finished up second in the Big 12. The following year, year two, they won the conference championship. And then this year, again, as I watched their progress, ranked in the top 15 in the country most of the year, and again into the postseason. So here you have a coach who's been part of two programs that were really built. A lot of similarities with Washington State, at Oregon State and Oklahoma State, and he was an integral part of that success. And those coaches will tell you that, as will the high school coaches. What we haven't really talked about is his reputation as a recruiter. Tireless worker, believes that we can win with Northwest kids, as I do. And I'm just excited to see it all fall in place. And our current players that are coming back, I think will really enjoy it. And at the end of the day, it should be fun. It should be fulfilling. It should be a positive experience. And nothing provides a positive experience more than being a winner. Long answer to a good question. I didn't know if I was going to get a chance to talk to you.
This is for Marty. When did Bill first reach out to you about the position, and how long did you really have to make the decision? And has it all been a pretty quick process for you?
It's been pretty quick. One of the things that I appreciate about the group here is that we're playing, and one of the obligations, the biggest obligation I have, is the team I was coaching, and so I really felt good about that, and we made contact after our series was over, and yeah, it was relatively quick, but it was exactly what we both wanted.